Yes. Welcome to another episode of your favorite podcast in the world, and that is Loose Talk Podcast. If you hear my voice, that only means one thing that Osage Alonge has absconded with his musical equipment, and the real people, the real guys, the real hosts of this podcast are here. My name is Ayodele Tayo, and I have my guy here, Steve Dede. Steve Dede, what's up? SDC, what's popping?
That's good. That's good, my people. I did.
Yeah, that's the voice
Struggle
of
for
the lead researcher.
struggle to get ready for this one. Really, I got
Why?
that text. When I got that text, I went back to sleep.
I
Did
guess
you
so,
get
yeah.
like yeah, exactly. So it was not difficult for me to. So as you call you, yeah, you call like two times, like twice or
Yeah,
thrice.
yeah,
I had to just struggle, But that's the initial like after like the clock, my body clock has, woken me up by 4. Do you get ready for
yeah.
the podcast? But immediately the messages came in. I'm like, okay, let me just nap a little before maybe Yosagi gets back or if anyone wants to record and stuff like that. Then,
Another nap, there is long
bro,
pass. It a
that's the
long
most dangerous
pass.
one.
Bro.
I had this gist of a guy in school hostel who had an exam by 2. So he woke up, we went to night class, came back, slept a little. Like, the exam is by 2, cooked beans, beans with the boys
Hey.
hostel. Then
Wow.
around 10:30, 11 ish, he ate the beans.
Yeah.
And then the guy said, okay, let me just nap a little. So by 12 or like 1, I start going to the class. The guy woke up around 3.
I like that because it's just you already know. Just go back to sleep. It's automatic carryover. Just they go back. But yeah, as they say in Nigerian broadcasting, when a popular co-host is not on a particular episode, Osage is on special assignment. He will be back next week to tell you the special assignment is on. Yes, so it was only Steve and I today, and we'll be doing fan mail like we promised earlier in the week. You guys have a lot of fan mail. You guys have written a lot. Some people were triggered by the theological debate we had 2 weeks ago about religion and
Yep.
science. And first of all, you guys, loose talk listeners, clap for yourselves because you guys are actually learned. I'm very happy that there are Nigerians who are learned. Because when I go on Twitter and I go on Instagram and I see comments, I fear for this country that we are raising dollars
Yeah.
and imbeciles. But lo and behold, it seems all the smart people actually listen to loose talk,
Yep.
we have quite a lot of your fan mails I'll be reading. Let's just go straight into it. This one is from Wale, not the Maybach music rapper or the American rapper, Nigerian American rapper. This is Wale.
So this is Wale. Is
This
Wale,
is
not
Wale,
Wale.
not Wale. This is
It's
Wale,
Wale.
a day one listener who wants to give us feedback. He says, "Hello, Loose Talk podcast team. I'm a long time listener since my grad school days. Your Monday episodes often helped me get through tough periods, especially during depression, and motivated me to start my week strong. I've since graduated, started a family with 2 kids. I'm doing well. I feel a special connection to the pod, having lived through the same era as you all. I was at Unilag when AOT2 was there. Wow, bro. Shout out to you. That must have been a while back. That said, I'm going to give some honest feedback. Recently, I've noticed more inaccuracies or unchecked claims on the show. Simple facts that could be verified. For example, there was an episode where he said Real Madrid doesn't win leagues, even though they've won 4 in the last 8 years. Meanwhile, the club supported by pod members haven't won a league in a combined 34 years or a Champions League in 87. We know. Thank you very much. We know. The Lord will do it for us. We know. But thank you for calling out the Real Madrid one. I can't remember when we said that one, but thanks for calling us out on that one. Let me continue. But my main reason for writing,
He's a Real Madrid fan.
obviously, and he hates Man U and Arsenal, obviously. All right. But my main reason for writing the Tunde Meets Tinubu episode, Osage started by saying he will present both sides of the debate, but the discussion was disappointingly one-sided. For example, Bar's statement that Tunde's vision with no child left behind aligns with his party's vision was read without any mention of the 18.5 million Nigerian children out of school or the drop in the education budget from 10 to 11% in 2015 to around 5% in 2025, far below UNICEF's recommended 15 to 20%. This kind of context matters. I also found the arguments echoed those made by Mike Okri in 1999 about the Abacha Million Man March. Everybody will do the same in that position. It's a missed opportunity to discuss how Nigeria's moral fabric and accountability are eroding, and how the APC and BAT used to need for political photo op, not genuine recognition. On another note, I have noticed you mentioned generative AI on recent episodes. If you'd ever like a guest to break down AI advances and their implications, I'll be glad to join. I am an AI scientist at a FANG company. FANG is Facebook, Amazon. What's the other one, Steve? What's the other A? I know Netflix, Google, but I don't know the other A. I can't remember what the other A is. So he works in that industry, and also an adjunct professor of artificial intelligence and machine learning. I said it. I said it that our listeners are brilliant people. Keep up the good work, and thank you so much for all you do. Thank you very much, Wale, for sending us this brilliant email. Thank you for fact checking us, because sometimes in the heat of the discussion, we sometimes miss going and checking, double checking the facts. So thank you for pointing that out. We are not the Nigerian government that cannot be criticized. We are down for criticism, and you calling us out on facts that we've missed. Yep.
I'm still trying to
Steve.
remember the fan company. Is it Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, Apple, Alphabet?
Oh, it's Apple.
That's
It's
Google.
Apple. It's Apple.
It's Apple,
Yes.
yeah, it's
Yes.
Apple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My bad. Yes. Shout out to you. You're doing well, my brother. Uh, the Tunde
But
photo
Real
op.
Madrid, Real Madrid, they've won. I think they've done like better in the last 8 years, as you've mentioned. But I think our conversation was about like them, like in general, like especially since 2000, and especially in the Barcelona era, where Barcelona was winning the league title every season, and the Real Madrid were just using the Champions League to just cover up. For example, during that treble, that three consecutive Champions League winning run,
Yeah.
Real
Yeah.
Madrid only won, I think, one Champions League in that year. I can't remember. I think one Champions League also.
Or
There
one La Liga. I mean, they
one La
won.
Liga, sorry,
Yeah.
during that run. So we're just trying to say, like, for a long time, the league, they were not doing well in the league, so, but they've done better in recent times, I think, yeah. So
Yeah.
that makes sense. And yeah, I think he gave Arsenal some shots here. They will win now. Everybody will win. Don't worry.
Don't
Everybody
worry.
will
It
win.
will reach everybody. There's a time
It
you
will reach
people are looking
everybody
for
hand.
There's a time you were
It
looking
will
for
reach
La Liga.
everybody hand. It
It
might
will reach
take 10 years, it
everybody.
might take 2 years, it might take one year, it might take you go
It
still
will
reach
reach.
everybody hand.
Yes, yes. Now food, now
That
party
makes
food.
sense.
Everybody go chop. Don't worry.
And for the today conversation, I think, yeah, it's pretty clear where we stood on this podcast. But also we read a lot of like opinions that were not the same with ours, right? And we just read it out. Although we didn't agree, but that doesn't mean we didn't also like state both sides of the debate, right? We just don't agree that people have the right to tell people who to visit or who not to associate with. At the end of the day, that's just it. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think because we also agree that yes, that the FG obviously used that as the photo op, but it
Yeah, we
shouldn't take
used him.
away, yeah, it shouldn't take away from the
Yeah.
fact what Tunde is doing, and him presenting, going to meet the president doesn't mean he's becoming an APC member or he's going
Yeah,
to
it's
be a
always maybe he's
campaign.
aligning with the party or whatever it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, the president of Nigeria is still the president of Nigeria, no matter the party. At the end of the day, the
He's a
office is the
public
office.
figure.
Yeah,
I just remember when Jeffrey Epstein or
hmm
PD, like when the whole thing was happening, and people just started using the photos of these guys
with Donald
as,
Trump.
yeah, with not just Trump, with Clinton. Especially
Oh
in
yeah,
the
the
Diddy's
political
case,
elite. Yes.
in the Diddy's case, they started using the photos like if you are a celebrity and maybe you kind of like attacking or trying to come out as like morally superior, whatever it is. People
Yeah,
will
they bring out
post
a
their
photo.
photos with Diddy. It doesn't. These are public figures. People
Yeah,
meet public figures. People meet. People talk. People to take photos. It happens. It does not mean they agree principally. Like they agree with the person they're taking photos with. It's just like the celebrity world. It's different. Do you
yeah.
get? So
Mm.
it's not a big deal.
Thank you, Mr. Wally. And please, some of us are looking for a job in Apple and Netflix, so you can just help a daughter out. Thank you very much. All right. This second email is from Joe. I hope it's not Joe that used to come to Nigeria to come and sing to us. Joe that became a Nigerian artist at the end of the day.
Judah became the had a house in Lekki one time. Became a Lekki baddie.
There's a gist ahead of one of my guys said he went for a house party in Lekki and it was all these rich kids there. No, rich people, not rich
Yeah.
kids. And he saw Osha
Ah,
in Nigeria. Yeah, he saw Osha.
for real?
Osha was chilling in our party. Nigerians do wild things.
Oh,
Or when I think it was Diamond Bank or which bank, and they were having like a concert or something, and it was Maracay
mhm.
that put up. I'm
Yeah.
like, bro, that's flex. They just know how to flex big time. But anyway, this is Joe. He calls this the corporate space. Hello, Giants. Love the pod. I'm reaching out because your show's insights could be incredibly valuable to the issue I'm having. I'm a graphic designer with 7 years of experience transitioning from e commerce to fintech. While I'm confident in my skills, often the most talented on my team, I've learned the hard way that talent is never enough. Over the last 3 years, I've seen peers get promotions and recognition while I fall short, primarily because I'm not vocal enough. I consider myself a purist. I focus on getting the job done, communicating only when essential. The approach, however, has led to a perceived lack of confidence in my delivery and tone. My ambition is to become a head of design within the next 2 years, but I know I can't lead a team without being more influential and inspiring. Specifically, I struggle with communicating effectively with executives and leaders, generating spontaneous ideas, and asking insightful questions in meetings without extensive prior preparation. It's almost like if I don't prepare for the meeting beforehand, I can't seem to come up with ideas on the fly. Please, Giants, I need some advice. Um, Thank you, Joe, for writing, sending us this email. It's a very good email. I think it's a good topic because a lot of people struggle with leadership in the corporate world. And when you're talking about the corporate world, who best to answer this than the lead researcher himself, who has climbed the rungs of corporate Nigeria and fintech, and he'll be giving you tips on how to lead a team. Mr. Didi,
Are you know in the corporate world? See this guy.
I'm not in the corporate world, please. I'm in the media world.
Is that a difference?
There's no difference, actually. There's no difference.
Okay. I think yeah. First of all, I think you talked about communication issues. Like the challenges, like like being unable to speak up in meetings. I think first of all, the first thing to tackle like a challenge like that is just like the confidence. And what brings confidence sometimes is just like knowing that you've done the work, right? So that's number one. So ensure that you are really on top of your game every time. I think that will give you the confidence that you need. I think that's the foundation for these challenges, for you to tackle these challenges. To give you the confidence that you need to speak up in like where you need to speak up. Two, go to like meetings with notes, like prepare extensive notes, like that will guide you through the meetings, right? And while the meetings is going on, like meetings are going on, take extensive notes also, like from people speaking, just like look at how people are speaking, note down like the questions that you have. I think the problem you have right now is just that you can form like speech and you can articulate ideas from your brain to speech. Do you get? You can't get them out. Like the things you are thinking about, you can just get them out in an articulate manner. So a good way to tackle this is just to take extensive notes. Use notes to guide your questions or your speech or whatever you want to say in the meetings. I think that's a very good way to start. And just do the work of learning how to communicate, how to speak, right? Watch YouTube videos, do, you know, practice every day. Every day, take your phone, 2 to 3 minutes, speak randomly, speak about like random ideas, how your day went, pick a topic and talk about it, something that interests you, and just watch your mannerism, watch how you communicate, listen to the notes, just to note what you're doing well, what you're not doing well. If you start doing these things every day, I'll tell you, like in 2 or 3 months, you'll be able to, speak up randomly, like confidently, randomly, and be very, very good with yourself. I think that's just the way. Just do the work that is required for you to be an excellent communicator. You have a challenge right now. You have the problem of not being able to communicate in meetings. I feel it comes from confidence issues. So do the work so that you have the confidence to articulate your ideas. Then after that, you start you start working on yourself, how to communicate, how to stand up anywhere, be in public and speak. So that will really do the work for you. You see that in no time, in 4 5 months, you've already tackled like this challenge. You become an excellent speaker, and which will now aid you in your corporate career. Yeah, but definitely the things that you mentioned here is very very important. You might be doing a work and your inability to articulate your wins and just assert yourself in certain situation might be what will prevent you from really being recognized. So now that you know that there's a problem, just work on it, right? Few tips are very like the excellent YouTube videos, the excellent like materials on YouTube, right? Everything is on YouTube. I'm learning a new language right now, and the first thing that came to my mind was to register for like a language school or a tutor. Then I was just thinking about it one day. What can you do on your own for free, like with the free materials on the internet? Do that for 2 3 4 months and see where you go from there. So that when you get a tutor or when you start language schools, it will be very very easy for you. And that's what I've been doing, and it's been very very helpful. So
Hmm.
yeah, just do the work. You'll be fine.
Steve, which language are you learning? French or Spanish?
French.
It has to be French,
Just
obviously.
because
Yeah.
of my daughter. My daughter is in French school. Like she's started
No,
school and she's in French immersion. So I want to
look
be
at
able
life.
to.
If you had studied French when they're teaching you French in Delta, you would have no, there would be no need for this now. But all of us were playing when
I
they were
think
in
I
French
think
class.
I think I know it um
I think you
to
should
the
know the
level that it
basics.
to the level that they taught me. Yes. To the level
Yeah.
that they taught me. I don't think the my French teachers in secondary school did exceptionally well.
No, they
You get
didn't.
and it was only
The
just in
primary school
junior.
ones did well.
I wasn't taught French in primary school. It was from secondary school.
Oh, me, I was taught French in primary school.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Yeah.
I was just from secondary school. I think it was like junior secondary one to one JSS 1 2 3. SS we didn't do French in senior secondary. Did you do French in senior secondary?
I did it in junior secondary, but I
Yeah, just
didn't do
junior
it
secondary.
in senior secondary
Senior
because
secondary, exactly.
yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah, I still remember bits and bits from
yeah.
that though. So yeah.
Thank you, Joe, for sending us that fan mail. Steve was right. You're already halfway there. If you can point this problem, this personal development issue that you have, I think that is a positive. So how do you go forward? Like Steve said, always practice, talking for your phone or if you have a mirror. Communication is key, not only to the people in your team, your colleagues, or people below you, but also your bosses, the executives up there. One good thing you should always do is that if you want to feel comfortable talking to them, you should just hang around their social circles, go for lunch, go for dinner, talk and just it will be easier for you to now communicate with them and be in their circle. The truth about corporate life is that if you hide in your cubicle and you just do the work, it doesn't mean you are going to get promoted to the next level. It just means that you're good at what you're doing. But companies also look out for people who deliver extra, who can motivate a team, who can point leaders within their own team and ensure that targets are met and all that. They, I think it was P&G. I think P&G in Nigeria used to do this, that before they promote you, you must have mentor somebody in your team. And when it's time for your promotion, that person is ready to take over your place. You know, if that doesn't happen, you can't get promoted. So you have to work on yourself in terms of personal development, how you talk to people within office circles and also outside, office circles too. And if you do that, bro, your personal growth within the business space will be times 10. And they'll definitely promote you to the next level. And yeah, sky's the limit. So yeah, don't just put yourself. I know a lot of people want to be introverts in when they're in the office, but if you want a career, a long-term career, you have to add other things to your skill set, and communication is one of them. Okay, let's go to the next fan mail.
It's
This is
sad
from
that people have to. It's sad that people have to like leave their share or whatever it is. Like
bro.
sometimes when I just like sometimes like
Hmm.
most times when I go on LinkedIn, you just know that people are doing these things just to be seen. It's not just
Yes,
organic. It's just
it's
something
not
that they
organic.
have. It's just like a duty. It's just something that you have to do. And I have a lot of sympathy for them because, to be very honest, I don't know how to put it. I don't know if I'm going to do it. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
Like
get.
just that need to be seen. You need to just say, like the one that annoys me the most is when you know that like they're just saying random things just to be able to keep up with the activity, the corporate activity
Yeah,
of being
they want to look
seen or
like a
being
thought
known.
leader in their industry.
Yeah, stuff like that. So instead of me to do that, I'll maybe like maybe from not a personal perspective, I'll start creating content about like my industry in terms of
Yeah,
like, and it's not an act to be seen. It's an act to teach and to learn.
yeah,
Because
to
the more
create
you
impact.
teach, yeah, the more you teach and the more you educate, the more you also learn. Do you get? And
Yeah,
that's the angle like I really want to go with, not just coming on LinkedIn to announce your win. So this week, this is what I did at work or
that
something like
LinkedIn
that.
is corny
Yeah,
now.
it doesn't just
Corny.
look organic. It doesn't feel organic to me, and that's just the
Yeah,
problem. The only problem I have with it. But if people who are doing it feel it's organic and it's just their way of life, it's fine. I just don't
yeah.
see it that way.
Like Gary V is on LinkedIn,
Of
and he
course,
just does, but
you
that's
just
Gary
see it's
V.
impacting.
Gary V
Yeah, that's
has a
Gary
legacy.
V.
Yeah, he has a
Yeah,
legacy,
I'm not
and he
saying don't be
creates.
on LinkedIn. I'm saying like I just don't understand like the way people just go about it. It just looks
Yeah,
forced. And
yeah, very fast.
yeah,
The next email is from Pezy. Big shout out from a loyal listener. Greetings to our SAGs, AOT2 and Steve. I have been diving deep into the Loose Talk archives, revisiting episodes all the way back from Loose Talk 2.0 at the start. And I must say, it's been a fantastic journey. It's great getting to know each of you more. Knowing it's great getting to know each of you more through these older episodes. Funny enough, I previously had a hard time matching videos to faces, voices to faces. Steve's deep, rugged voice often has me picturing him as AOT2 and vice versa, with Steve having the simple and calmer looks. It's an amusing puzzle I'm still working out. Wow. Reflecting on the episode titled The President is in Charge, you guys tried to give an outlook to Tinubu's presidency, with Steve giving a rating of 5, while Ayo played the safe with a cautious 3, saying he prepared to wait and see. Then the Naira was hovering around 730 to the dollar, with high hopes for improvements. Now, 2 years into the presidency, I'd love to hear your updated scores. Have things turned out as anticipated or gone differently? Also, you guys talked about the budget padding, or strongly emphasizing the padding. But I guess we know how that went because you treated it in a recent episode. We'd love to hear how AOT2 came about the name. My guess is from the popular anime, but I'd love to hear the backstory. Keep doing your amazing work, guys. Your insights are deeply appreciated, and I look forward to more engaging episodes. Thank you very much, Pezy. And we'll answer all your questions. How has the Tinubu presidency fared 2 years and a few months since the inauguration? Well, below average for me. So he did two key things. He the naira. He made sure that the naira was almost at the same rate with the black market rate. I'm talking about forex right now, foreign exchange with the dollar. That he balanced. He refused to stop. He refused to pay for subsidy, which was good because it was killing the Nigerian government. Two great things he has done. Right. There's also the tax reform, which is good. I won't say it's great, but I'll say it's good. Apart from that, it has been business as usual. There's nothing about the Tinubu presidency that creates hope or gives me hope for tomorrow, for this country, or for the common man. It's still Nigerians tighten your belt while we live large. There hasn't been any, he hasn't declared a state of emergency on security, education, health, three key sectors of Nigerian life. Nothing has been done. His reaction to the Benue killing was very disappointing and other security issues. You can see how his party they've decided to abandon governance and focus on 2027, which shows that these people don't really care about the everyday Nigerians. Um, Corruption in politics is still happening. At the end of the day, doctors are still going on strike. ASU stopped a strike at the last minute after they were paid for the month of June. So nothing, excites me about the Tinubu presidency at all. It's just been huff puff, huff puff, huff puff. At the end of the day, over 10, I'll give him a 3/10 because I don't see what I've not seen any hope or anything inspiring from his government. The federal government is still bloated. They promised to trim the size of the federal government, but that report has been bouncing from one administration to another administration, and nothing has been done. So yeah, it's business as usual. That's my own assessment of the Tinubu presidency.
yeah. So if you look at the Tinubu, I think technically, you could say that they've done things right. They've said
Yeah,
they've done the right things in terms of the policies, unifying the FX markets,
yeah.
cutting subsidy. These are things that was necessary for, though a lot of people don't agree. The anti-imperialism gang do not agree with this, but I think from our own understanding, these things these things are like they needed to be done to
Yeah.
ensure like our financial security in years to come. And I think that if even the tax reforms was that one was very really very good, you know. But I think the thing like the thing we're suspicious of like Tinubu for is just like the intention, right?
Yes. Yes.
While all these things like technically the policies are like good from that's like from the surface. I think the intention with his leadership is what we question a lot, right? There's still a lot
Yeah.
of corruption going on. Whole we could see the whole play, state capture, nepotism,
Yes. State capture.
just and the lack of accepting like the the inability to us to be accountable to the people that you are leading. Do you
Yeah.
get? These are like the intentional part of leadership that has been missing in our leadership for a long, long time. And it goes back to my argument where I keep making about the three main candidates at that time.
Yeah.
I was not saying it from I was not choosing my candidates from a place of quality in that sense, right?
Yeah.
These three, Peter Obi, Atiku, um,
Tinubu.
Tinubu, and to a large extent, to a lot of people who are on who their names are on the ballots, these
Yeah.
are people who've risen to the top of their level, right?
Yeah.
It's not easy being a presidential candidate. You have to be
At all.
exceptional in your walk of life to be
Yeah.
that person. So in terms of quality, the quality of thoughts and competence, I think every one of them, they are. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I think what is lacking is the intention, right? What's your intention for leadership? And like, I would say, I wouldn't want to say the moral compass. I think I'll just say like the intentions. What are your intentions for the people? Are you somebody who wants to serve or are you someone who wants to lead? I say at this point,
Yeah.
I think Nigerians like we will do better with someone who wants to lead, who wants to serve, right? In
Serve.
the terms
Yeah.
of if we are cutting subsidy and we're passing through one of the most difficult financial times in economic times in as a country, we won't be renovating the vice president's residence for 22
Residents. Yeah.
billion naira.
Yeah.
We won't buy new planes. We won't be cutting contracts to our people.
We won't refurbish
Ridiculous.
the ICC.
Thank you. Going taking exorbitant loans. Like, those things are the things that matter in the scheme of things as Nigerians, right? Because if our leaders do not care about you, they will keep balling and while you are suffering. So I
Yeah.
think it's the intention that matters here, and for that, it's been terrible. To be very honest,
Yeah. His presidency doesn't inspire hope.
at all,
Rather, it
at all.
has,
It
uh,
inspires corruption,
it has very
nepotism.
corruption, and from the people,
Yeah,
a lot of PTSD. A lot of people are leaving
exactly.
because they don't
You
see
know,
any. Even the way he even entered. Look at the elections. Look at the way he even entered office. You could see how tribalism. These guys use a tribalism card,
yeah,
and they are not
yeah. State
ashamed to say
capture.
it.
The state
And they,
capture that people are applauding as
yeah.
being political ingenuity. So
Now look at state capture. No, Adeleke is on the verge, rumored to be
yeah,
on the verge to join APC.
yeah. I heard they were withholding. I've not confirmed this, Sha, that they were withholding his federal funding or something like that. I didn't confirm it, Sha. I
It's a
saw it on Twitter,
possibility.
but it wasn't confirmed.
Yeah, look at what happened in River State. State of
Yeah,
emergency
state
in
of
a state where
emergency in
there was no
Rivers.
large spread violence. Then in Benue,
Nothing. There was no
business as
violence at
usual.
all.
Business
Yeah.
as usual. So yeah, it doesn't inspire hope. F9. Okay, this one is unknown. I don't know if you read this next week because this one is directed at our SAGs. Yoruba people say don't shave a man's head in his absence. So should we skip this one? This one's quite long, sir. Or should we read it
Let's
still?
skip it.
Okay,
Oh,
let's
let's read
skip it.
it now. Let's skip. Let's skip. Let's skip.
Let's skip.
If
Yeah.
we have
So it's
enough
like,
time after reading everything, we can go back.
okay, cool. Hi guys, this is from Yomi from England. Hi guys, I'm a long time listener, multiple time writer, which never gets read. So I gave up until this last episode. This is long, so do forgive me. So Steve, What's wrong with questioning all facets of history? Why can't we question the Bible? Are we supposed to live in oblivion? While I understand the least researcher's opinion, he contradicted himself. Earlier, he said something in the context of men should not be infantilized, that adults should be able to make their own choices, that it's our freedom. But when it came to religion, you said you wanted control. LOL. Control isn't needed for the continuity of the human race at all. That's wrong. Let's be careful what we wish for. We saw a glimpse of it during COVID, being told how to live. Another example is the sit at home thingy. There's a reason why the First and Second Amendments in the US are sacrosanct. If we give people the ability to control, it takes away freedom. If everybody's out of if everybody's out of control, that's why we have laws and a justice system. People being controlled isn't fine. We don't need to control people. We need law and order to guide people. Also, you have to separate
It's
religion
law
and
and order,
power.
not control.
Yeah. Let's finish his mail. Um, like Osak said, it strips accountability from the whether. Hold on. From the wielder of governance, when you fuse both religion and governance, and you have situations like man proposes, God disposes by INEC, or let's pray for the naira so it won't keep going up, or pray for the country while the leaders are making policies ruining the country. Religion has its pros, but extremism, aka carrying it on your head, is holding us back, and it's a religion problem, not a Nigerian problem, as it can also be seen in other countries that are highly religious. They exhibit same behavior and are poor. USA has a lot of Christians, but majority of them are passive Christians who have their belief but are more logic at first, the religion second. Again, look at prosperous countries. They exhibit same behavior. Even some Arab countries are beginning to let loose a bit when it comes to religion in order to be prosperous. Even the US, go and look at the poor areas and look at their religious behavior and compare it to the wealthy areas. The poor areas are more religious. Look at Saudi, Qatar, etc. They are being progressive. You will notice they're also shedding some religious ethos to become more progressive. I do believe in God, but I don't like organized religion. People are less religious in prosperous countries because they are pragmatic and less superstitious, hence solution driven. People are more religious in poor countries because they believe in miracles and the Savior will come to save them, making them less prosperous. The US didn't pray to get to the moon, nor did the founding fathers pray the British out. When there's a problem, they solve it by finding a solution, not by praying. In Nigeria, we are fanatic about religion. We operate from a position of spirituality. You want to write an exam, pray. You are traveling, pray. Everything is rooted in spirituality, so we take it to the extreme. I've seen people in real life and online tell Americans how to practice Christianity, and some northern Muslims say they practice religion better than some countries. The one that pains me a lot is a doctor saves your life, but you go to church to give the accolade to God after all the doctor's hard work. I believe if we are prosperous today and we don't change our ideology and beliefs and are driven by religion, we will be back to being a poor country. So is a religion problem, not a people problem. People are impressional. That's how cults are formed. Not everyone has the capability of discernment, especially when it comes to spirituality. A lot of people have given up their thinking ability when it comes to spirituality. I've seen PhD holders, highly knowledgeable people lose their common sense when it comes to spirituality. So it's not about being educated, but your ability to discern and think critically and question everything and be logical. I am a pharmacist. There are a lot of practices I consider rubbish, but many still believe them because it's what we are taught in school. Is it the student that should be faced, or what are we being indoctrinated into? It's a normal human trait to be influenceable. Humans are impressionable, so we can't face people who we have to face the religion. They are brainwashing people not because they are fools. Yes, some are actually fools, to be honest, but because people are impressionable, the degree just varies. That you are not brainwashed doesn't mean you can't be. Some people need something to believe in. And religion has been designed to control people using fear mongering tactics. The same way you apply reasoning is the same way these people apply reasoning to justify what they believe in. So we need to ensure that what they believe in is done the right way and not to exploit them or manipulate them. I feel people are practicing religion because they are scared of going to hell or need spiritual favor, not because it's what they really love. When I was doing my IT in Igobi, I saw a patient refuse surgery because his pastor said so. They said they said they would pray the problem away, and it got worse till he went into septic shock. A religious person would tell you to pray mental health issue away, and what I like about them is that they use faith to avoid being questioned. If it didn't work, you didn't have faith. The story of the Tower of Babylon made no sense to me when I saw people flying to space. Why didn't God also divide them? I've never understood speaking in tongues. It makes no sense because even the speaker don't know what's in the yarn deep down. But two fishes and five loaves of bread of fire sha. I'm a pharmacist working in the UK. The shambolic state of healthcare isn't a surprise. The hospitals are in a deplorable state, while the workers are diabolically paid. Hence, the massive brain drain. The leaders don't care because they aren't affected. They don't use these hospitals. A lot of private people can't pay staff, so they hire quacks. And a politician who happens to also be a doctor, don't quote me, says doctors can leave, that we will produce more. That is his tailor doctor. I worked at General Hospital Odon and GH Ikorodu and saw doctors beaten up. In a case, a senior tat in Ikorodu brought his dead family member and was slapping the doctor, telling him to wake the dead guy up, while police security for the hospital looked away and did nothing. I gave up on Nigeria after COVID because I thought we would get our act together in the health sector, but instead, men them to use as an opportunity to embezzle. I have a lot of friends and family in the military, aside the fact that they are poorly paid and equipped. A friend once told me, don't blame us for some actions. You asked for it by voting for the CNC. Now who will now vote for now who will now vote for we go say yes or to vote wisely. Elections have consequences. Nigeria ticks all the criteria for a failed country. There's an intentional erosion of the middle class. The middle class is the heart of a country. A country fails when the middle class can't work. Also, the ones that can fight the government, not the rich, definitely not the poor. The rich are bodies with the political elite, while the poor can't think more than surviving. You can't fight when you're hungry. The woman that hit the CEO who was on his bike, you guys give her too much grace saying she didn't get down out of fear of mob and shock. While this happens, it's not in this case. This is a woman who thinks she can do anything and get away with it. She felt too big and looked down on the victim. And a clear proof of that wasn't only not getting down from the car, but saying, I don't want blood to stain my seat. When they asked her to rush, when they asked her to rush the guy to the hospital. Rich, influential Nigerian women are as terrible, if not more than their male counterparts. So, Steve, people aren't foolish to drift towards people like VDM. They're disillusioned. They have lost hope in their establishment. P.S. Maternal death is the mother, neonatal death is the baby. Also, we can never eradicate malaria, as the organizations benefit from funding to fight malaria. There's a malaria vaccine, as not in Nigeria. He gets why. Anon, thank you very much for that small State of the Nation speech. And because this is directed to Steve, Steve will answer you right now. Thank you, Mr. Steve.
So law and order is a form of control, right? But it's important that we understand the kind of control that it is. And when I meant control, I didn't mean coercive control. I think I meant like cooperative. Do you understand? Like where everybody that's like a control that is consensual and structured for collective like good. The reason why I say like law and order is control is because I remember when Europeans, right,
Yeah,
went to North America and killed off, wiped out like the locals,
the
like the
Indians. Yeah,
indigenous Indians, right? And they saw the huge land resources in Europe and said, how do we build this place? Do you get?
yeah,
They had they didn't have like a huge population in terms of like huge working population. And they just looked at the other continent, Africa, brimming like we young people. What did they do? They found a way to legalize, to draw up trade laws that gave room to slavery.
yeah,
Do you get? That was law and order, right? But it was a
yeah,
form of control to be able to take human resources from a continent to another continent to build. We've seen it over time. There's one time alcohol was
banned
prohibited
in
in
America.
was banned in Western countries. So yeah, law and order is a form of social control to prevent like chaos, anarchy, to protect people's rights, to maintain peace and predictability, and it's just to maintain predictability. It's a form of control. So let's get that out of the way. So yeah, religion is also a form of control. Do you get? And humans need it. We need to be controlled. Do you get? And that's just how I understand it. And saying that whether we can question every facet of history. I never said that. I said if we want to start questioning the history, the written history that of the contemporary history that of Christianity, of Jesus Christ and the movement and the Christian movement, that
Yeah,
means we have to start questioning every history. Because the
yeah,
same way the history of like Christianity was written and and journaled. That's the same way all history was. Like there's no history that was written in contemporary time in mass. People just word passed over generation and like little materials. Like people at the time started gathering it, right? Especially in the height of in the when like literacy became like really popular. People saw the need to put this thing down in comprehensive documents, right? And words passed over the generation. That's how all history was written down. It was hard to see at the time the contemporary like history that was heavily documented, especially in this space. If it was, it might be lost in like flood or in natural resource, in a natural disaster or in war or whatever it on raids or whatever it is. It was just people who were coming together to put down different facets of history. So I'm saying that if you're saying that you don't believe that of Christian how Christianity became a religion, that means we have to doubt all the history that we've had, like that we've had access to, you know,
Yeah.
all through. Yeah. So, but the remaining part of your email is like spot on. I agree with everything that you said there.
Yeah, thank you for sending us that email. It's really about, insights into Nigeria's healthcare system. We all know that Nigeria's healthcare system needs a open heart surgery. But
Jesus Christ.
yes, no, it needs open heart surgery. But our political leaders prefer to refurbish the International Conference Center in Abuja than actually, refurbish Nigeria's healthcare sector. So that's where we are. And I agree with you. I think we all know our position in terms of the relationship between religion and politics in Nigeria. It's not as if you guys don't know that the three of us are very skeptical when we see religious leaders fraternizing with our political leaders. We know they're in bed.
Yeah.
But again, religion is a very touchy subject. It's the issue of salvation, And for me, I'd rather you believe in whatever you want to believe in because every religion has it. But when it comes to the issue of governance, that is where you need to put your thinking cap. And that is the flaw in Nigerian religion. We do not put our thinking cap when it's time for the advancement of the Nigerian society. So instead of you questioning the CBN and asking the president's economic team, oh, what's up with the economy? Why is inflation still high? Why are prices still high? We'd rather listen to a Daddy Gio that wants to do 7 days of praying for so that the naira will start go well. And we as graduates will now say you will not go and write to your HR that you are going to redemption camp because Daddy Gio has a special prayer session or prayer week. No. If you want to go to redemption camp doing whenever they are doing it's fine. That's between you and your God. But the issue of governance, so bruh, everybody should leave their religion at home and come as 21st century human beings who are thinking. That is my own issue with religion in this country. But if you want to believe, hey, Jesus Christ fed people with 2 loaves and 5 fishes, bruh, it's not disturbing me. All I just want to know
Exactly.
is that if I go to General Hospital, it's working. The roads are well tarred, the security in my area. That's all I want to know. If you want to believe that Oduduwa came down from the sky with a chain and a chicken, bruh, it's all good. As long as the fundamentals of 21st century life is available to every Nigerian, then it's fine. Yeah, that's it. So let's go to the next email. The next email reads is from who? Let me check. And that was the longest email though. So this is from Anon. Short one. Thank you, Anon. What to do with 500K? Hello, Pod. Shout out to everybody. Quick one. I just finished saving and I saved up to 500K. Shout out to you because 500K in this economy is no be beans. I don't want to blow the money. What can I do? I could use the money for rent, but I also have a place I could purchase for at least 6 months. So I ask, while I'm still searching for a job, is there anything or any investment I can make with the little amount, or do I just say, F it, rent a place with the money and see where life takes me? It feels like a simple problem, but it's eating me up. Please help. Thank you and God bless you. Thank you very much for Anon. And we'll pass this over to our financial advisor in the podcast.
Jesus Christ. Who's the financial
And
advisor?
now you know.
500K.
First of all, 500K is a lot, though.
Is it a lot where?
It's a lot for this guy because I'm sensing he just left university.
I'm thinking about it. I don't know what to do. I want to start an online business.
But would I
That's my
give him
go-to.
would I give him enough returns because I think he's looking at a short term.
It's looking like a short-term business. I can't advise. I don't know how to advise on that.
Yeah. So, bro,
I don't know how to advise
if
on
it's a
that.
short term thing, bro, just
Yeah.
put your money in all those fintech apps where I'm not saying all the ones that have 20% too. The ones that will give you monthly um returns. It might not be much because it's just 500K, my
Bro,
guy.
you just came out of school, 500,000 naira. I don't know, man. Just look for a way to put you in a better position, maybe in your career, if it's a course you are taking, whatever it
Invest in
is.
yourself. Use that money to
Yeah,
invest
well,
in
invest in
yourself.
yourself. That's just the
Yeah.
most important thing because you just came
Yeah.
out of school. I'm not sure you've even started a job yet. How do you put yourself better in a better position to
Yeah.
be employed or whatever, like whatever you want to do, like whatever you want to do in the nearest future? I think that's what you should be using the money for. And
Yeah.
500K is not in the scheme of things. It's not taking
This
you
is not
anywhere, to be
this is not
honest. So
500K 10 years ago, sha.
exactly. So if you're not
Yeah.
investing in yourself,
That's the biggest
um,
investment you should make in
yeah,
yourself
that's
right
the
now.
biggest
To earn
investment
more,
you have to
to
do.
have the ability to earn
Either
more.
use it to invest in yourself, either in your career or maybe in a side business that you want to grow, you want to start growing, and
Hmm.
maybe you see yourself doing it. I remember, like, I can know a lot of people who used about around the same amount of money to start like online businesses, like a long time ago, like
Yeah.
4, 5 years, 6 years ago, and right now they are like really wealth, like rich people, like doing so well, have big Instagram accounts, selling things, products, services on online. That this was something they built over the years as a side hustle while they were working. Some people invested this in themselves. When I finished NYC, I didn't spend any of my 19,800 naira all through all through my NYC. Like my
Yeah.
NYC allowance every month. I didn't spend a dime out of it. At the end of the day, that was what I used to go and do my postgraduate degree at, you remember,
Yeah.
at NUJ.
Yeah. NUG, yeah.
The NIJ, sorry.
Yeah.
Right?
NIG.
All right,
Nigerian Institute
exactly.
of
You might
Journalism.
question the choice of the investment or whatever it is, but I feel like life is not a mistake,
But
right?
it
And
makes sense because you are going into journalism at that
because I was
time.
going into journalism at the time, and that was the only thing I could think of to say, okay, how do I improve myself to be in a better position to be employed? And I like met so many amazing people there, that's like all over the media right now. Maybe not right now. Everybody don't come out, but at least like I met a lot of people that I grew with in the business, right? And the networking really helps a lot um over time. So yeah, I think right now you shouldn't be thinking about something that will give you a short-term financial gain or financial return. You have to invest in yourself, either in your career or in a side business that you are going to be serious with and grow. You can look back at 10 years later or 5 years later and say, oh, I started this business with 500,000 naira, and nobody will believe you. Trust me, but it
Yeah.
is what it is. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And also take your mind away from quick term gains because you're
yeah,
already asking, oh, no,
take
bro,
it,
it doesn't work like that. I know Nigeria
take
puts
it.
that in our mind that we must make returns very fast, but that's not how the world works. The
Yeah,
laws of investment and economics is universal, whether you're in Nigeria or not. So you just have
yeah,
to take your time with it. So the best thing you have to do is invest in yourself. Simple as that.
yeah.
Okay. This is from Nas with a H. And he titles this one, or she titles this one, Rethinking Empowerment in Economic Surrogacy. What's good, Jans? Another beautiful month is here, and I hope the second half is better than the first. Thank you to the Loose Talk team for every great episode. Now, to my point, I do see the need for every human to make choices at their own will regarding their own body. And if a woman has decided to opt for surrogacy, she will not be stopped. Childbirth is scary, painful, and deeply personal. No one should dictate how another person chooses to experience or avoid that journey. That said, we must look beyond the sacrifice of individual choice and consider the broader implications. Saying we have all agreed to live in a capitalist society does not erase the need for ethical reflection. Capitalism in its raw form is amoral, a response to demand and supply, not to justice, dignity, or morality. So the fact that something is economically viable or labeled as empowering does not automatically make it right. In a context like Nigeria, where laws are weak or poorly enforced, this conversation becomes even more delicate. If we struggle to implement basic healthcare or legal protections, how can we ensure something as complex and sensitive as economic surrogacy is carried out without abuse? Just because the practice is not illegal does not make it ethical. Law, ethics, and morality are not the same thing. The law can be slow to catch up with with conscience. In capitalist countries like the United States or Canada, even the wealthiest individuals cannot simply purchase a human organ. This is because society recognizes the risks of turning vulnerable human needs into commodities. Where profit rules unchecked, exploitation is never far behind. Calling economic surrogacy empowering may sound progressive, but it often ignores the desperation behind the decision. A woman who agrees to rent her womb due to financial pressure is not necessarily exercising freedom. Survival is not the same thing as choice. Even capitalist societies have ethical boundaries. We do not legalize child labor just because it brings income to a poor household. We do not allow the rich to buy whatever they can afford when it affects the dignity or and rights of others. Empowerment without protection is exploitation. I mean, my union rep is on my favorite contacts list just in case. We must stop using capitalism as a moral excuse for everything that can be monetized. Thank you very much, Nas, for writing this wonderful email. First of all, your command of English is great. I'm reading this off a Word document, and Grammarly did not highlight anything functional, anything wrong in your email. So thank you very much for writing this great email. Secondly, I believe you are referring to the episode where we spoke about the diary of a Nigerian girl on Nigeria girl, where she spoke about how she would not be carrying her own baby at the end of the day to be surrogacy, and how that created a whole controversy. I believe in your points on 100%. I do not
Yeah,
believe
Osage
that.
was the one that Osage was the only one that didn't agree with these points.
Yeah,
Well, we're all on the same. You and I were on the
yeah, on the
same
same page.
page
That
as this
even if we are running a
sender.
capitalist society or economy, there should be
We
checks
just have
and
to be careful
balances.
how people
Yes,
are used. Yeah,
yeah, because and I don't know if you watched Nas. I don't know if you watched Baby Farm. Is on Netflix.
yeah.
It talks about this issue a whole lot, where people can just
Okay.
go and buy wombs and just buy babies because they can afford it of vulnerable women, and we know there are a lot of vulnerable women in our society. You know, I'm sure,
Yeah,
and we've seen
it's
stories of policemen of the police, breaking down baby factory syndicates all over the country.
yeah,
You
all
know,
over the country.
so yes, and actually a country in Nigeria where life means nothing to us. We need checks and balances at the end of the day. Nobody says you can't do surrogacy, but there should be ethical boundaries for everybody.
Yeah, people should be protected. There should be a legal
Yes.
framework, a very strong legal framework for it.
Yeah, very
I
strong one.
think just the idea that, oh, just because I have money, it's just something I have a problem with
Yes.
because I've seen pregnancy up close, bro. It's not funny. It's not like I consider it a miracle, like
It
for
is a
someone to be
miracle.
pregnant and go and
And you come out
deliver,
of
if
that
that's
same
whatever
and you come out
way
of
I
that
come out
theater.
of that and
Mm.
come out of that here. Like it's an insane process that I don't think any human deserves to go through. But this is what women go through. So just doing it just because you are rich and you don't want to stress yourself, it's highly um exploitative. I don't agree with
Yeah.
it at all. So rather not have a baby, go and adopt.
Yeah.
Instead of putting another
And even
person through.
adopting self, there are a lot of you must still go through a
You
lot
must
of
still follow the legal frameworks
yes.
for it, but it's been better because that checks and balances that checks
Yeah.
that's different checks to several checks that people go through. Even years after you've adopted a baby, you're still
They'll still
getting
do
through
checkups, yeah.
constant checks to see how you are treating this child and stuff like that. Although we
Yeah.
don't have that in Nigeria.
They
Yeah.
never even check human beings where they from.
So
Now,
yeah,
now
it's
person
very,
picking.
very exploitative. It's not something I like at all. So yeah, I agree with you. Yeah.
Yeah. Next email, and this is from uh, Galena. Now, wow, these names I'm seeing today. Okay, this is culture and spring. Hi, all. This might be a tad lengthy, so let's dive right into it. Now, wow, they're just commanding us like that. Anyway, culture is the way of the people. It's ever changing and ever evolving. This, however, isn't a cultural evolution. It's a deliberate shift that goes against the population, and isn't grounded in anything. I believe this all started with Bobrisky, and to keep the fast has morphed into the BS with Chief Priest and Co. taking falls. Where's the energy for Tompolo or the Okoya boys? Shout out to Ayo and Osagi for actually pointing this out. Also, Ayo should leave Lugar out of this. Even the traditional outfits we wear today have changed over time, thanks to globalization, new colonialism, or whatever. Culture doesn't sit still. In perspective, 20,000 naira is 200 naira bills. That's $12. That's barely a meal at McDonald's these days. And this money isn't being thrown away. It is gathered and gifted to celebrants of the event. Thank you for pointing that out. Ultimately, these really aren't the issues. These men are disingenuous to the bone and would rather focus on these BS symbolic acts than major issues. See, if you're attacking the symptoms and not the actual issues, Nigerians spray money in different corners of the world and they're not the most dangerous or more criminal in those countries. The issue with corruption, fraud, money worship in Nigeria is systemic and not individual. There's a super car or luxury car in every corner of Dubai and obscene levels of luxury in Monaco. But what are crime rates? Additionally, not like spraying of money and its vulgarity etc does not mean it should be unlawful or demand persecution. I also dislike the Versace head to toe niggers, but I don't think they should be in jail. Maybe I actually hate them.
It's true.
I actually
Yeah.
hate those niggers. The real problem isn't the display of wealth; it's the disparity in wealth and banning or demonizing expressions of affluence. It is it is disparity in wealth, and banning or demonizing expressions of affluence won't fix that. We should focus on creating equity, not micromanaging how people celebrate. Let's call it spade what it is and free the BS. If and when we get tired of spraying, it will phase out naturally, or maybe it won't. But forcing it out like this is fake, inorganic, and we all know it. Thanks for all you guys doing educating and promoting awareness on a variety of topics. I've been a listener for years. Keep up the great work. Cheers. Thank you
Thank
very
you, thank you, thank you,
much.
thank you,
Thank you
thank you,
much for
thank you.
Galena
Galena.
for pointing that out about spring culture. Um, for me, I think the spring of money should have been it should be outdated now. But I'm not the one to say, hey, Nigerians shouldn't do what they should do. My issue
Yeah.
with the spraying of money is in context to the Nigerian society and how we've overworshipped money and how we treat and most of these things look obscene, you know. If you have actually been to most of these parties or any party, the way the money is being sprayed is very obscene and it doesn't portray us as a serious people. Now, if you spray money in Monaco or you spray money in Dubai, that's different because their roads are tarred. Everything in that society is organized. But in a poor country where you are begging for loans and grants, and these white people open their Instagram and see you people throwing money, and some of your political leaders are there too, or political adjacent leaders are there, aka Tompolo them, and they spray money like this. It doesn't show that we have our priorities right at the end of the day. I don't like spraying of money. It to me is no, it's not necessary. If you want to gift the celebrant, bro, pay, pan pay, everything there now. Just do pum pum. But to show people that there's wealth and there's money and there's you not do that and we've abused it. It's an abused tradition. Abuse is an abused part of our culture, and I think it should be phased out. Although really, our law enforcement agencies should also focus on what is the cocoa, because I don't think
Yeah.
anybody spraying money in a party is
Is a
more
problem.
dangerous than they're more dangerous than a corrupt politician. At the
Mm.
end of the day, there are a lot of people to chase in this country. I don't think Bobrisky, Chief Priest, and the other and Terry Akpala are really the people destroying this country. So I do agree with you that we need to set our priorities straight.
Okay, so yeah, I agree with the email too, though. As I can see the person's point. I think our view about this spraying of money, especially on this podcast, it comes from the fact that three of us are not like people who naturally
Yeah,
will do it, right?
yeah, we are
Like
weird. We are
I've
weird
only sprayed
when
money. I've only
yeah.
sprayed money three times. That's
Wow.
Sage's the wedding of Sage's younger brother's wedding,
Yeah,
Sage's brother's wedding, and the wedding of my two younger sisters. Like when they wedded, I
yeah,
sprayed money just because they insisted. Do
yeah.
you get? Because our
But
big bro guys
we won't see you in Secret Palace spray money.
is never happening.
Yeah.
Never happening. Never
Yeah.
happening. In fact, I'm notorious with my boyfriends, with all our friends, for not spraying what they give to me to spray. Because I always tell them, if you want to give me this money to spray, maybe in strip club or whatever it is, just know that you are wasting. Like nobody is seeing this money because I'm not spraying it. Do you get? So it's always something that we laugh with and just joke with. So I'm not a fan of it. So I think that also kind of like influences our position on it, right? In terms of supporting the FCC in their fight against the spraying of naira. But to this guy's point, in the grand scheme of things, it does not matter at all. Do you get? Like we have like the financial gap between the rich and the poor in Nigeria is just too wide.
Too wide.
There's so much corruption in the political system and in the leadership system. Those are things that we should be focused on instead of the ordinary, like the culture of spraying money, right? Like I'm just agreeing with him. That's it. I agree with your meal. To be very honest.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Mhm.
So yeah, you won't see any of us spraying money at any party.
No, no, no,
If
no.
you do see, it's probably AI. It wasn't
It's
us.
probably yeah.
Yes. Okay, this is from Sean. Quite a short one, and this is titled Confused Nigerian Youth. Hello, Giants. I listen to you guys religiously. This podcast is like a therapy session, which keeps me enthusiastic about life in general. I'm 25 years old who graduated my ND program in computer science and hoping to continue HND or degree. I have never had a job, but I've been keen. Wait, I've never had a job, but I've been making money enough to sustain myself in a just survival mode. I recently realized how important it is to have a skill. So I've decided to learn either coding or tailoring, but I'm confused because I want a skill that is valuable and sustainable. Please, I need you guys to give me guys to help me out. Which is better? Uh,
We've read this
thank,
maybe before. Let's
we've
move
read this
on.
mail before. Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Which other one have we read again? Okay, this next one's for Osagi. So Osagi is not around. We will not shave his head in his absence because we're actually good friends. So, yeah. Okay, this is Ask the Giants. Wow. It's been a while we had this. Two stories from a Gen Z couple. Have we read this before, Steve?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, I've already seen polyamorous. So this is going to be quite hectic because I
Hmm.
am not Gen Z and you Gen Z people always come up with new terms.
People are so fluid.
Yeah, you're so fluid. Like, bro, I'm polyamorous. Bro, you're cheating. That's all. Let's just go there. So I'm only joking. I'll read the mail on that shortly. Yeah, so thank you for just writing in. All right, let me read this mail sharpish. Asked Giant, two stories from the Gen Z couple. Hello, Giants. I never thought one day I would air out my life situations on the radio or a podcast because I used to think it was ridiculous growing up. And now I am an adult and I can't keep suffering in silence. So I think I understand those people now. Let's get to it. I have two things to share. The first one is about giving and the whole concept of it. You guys record your sessions on Sundays. So I can tell that hearing you speak about the topic on a Monday morning was confirmation that life is scripted and there's some higher power in control of things. I was at the park about to board the bus, and one guy fully dressed came to me begging that he needed money. At first, I didn't want to give. I'm used to Lagos people coming up with different reasons to collect, so I wanted to be stubborn. But then I noticed he begged everyone else in the bus. No one paid attention, and he even offered to be the conductor for the day. Guys, I struggled internally. I eventually heard him say he needed to get to church, and that was when I called him and gave him the money to enter the bus so he could go to church. Now, my question is, was I wrong for the initial struggle I had? Also, is it right to give only when it makes sense to give? Do we need an understanding of a person's pain before we decide to help them out? Or is it just a thing where people give so they can feel better about themselves? I'd like to hear from you. Now, here's the second one. I'm in a polyamorous relationship. I don't even know if I'll call it a relationship because we're stuck in a gray area I don't understand. Before this relationship, my last one was in 2019. So there's a lot I've not experienced yet in relationship dynamics. I'm a pretty open-minded person. So I met this woman, female 28, at a party at Elashe last December. She's 2 years older than I am, and we clicked very fast. Fast forward to late January, we were still speaking, and I told her I really liked her. That's when she told me she felt the same way, but she needed to let me know that she was traveling out for her masters. It came as a shock. The girl I've been connecting with suddenly has to leave the country, not even a month, but in less than 2 weeks. I was pissed. But I thought about everything, and I'm actually traveling to the same city this summer. So I told her about my own travel plans, and we decided to move ahead with it because I really liked her. That was one. Secondly, a few days later, she opens up about her sexuality, telling me she's bi. And if she ever wanted a relationship again, she wouldn't want to be polyamorous. She would want it to be polyamorous. This was another shocker. I'm a very open minded person, but I hadn't thought of this before. She said her last relationship was a poly one, and my response was, but it ended. She said it barely lasted 3 to 4 months and told me why. Anyway, she said she really liked me and wanted me to be part of her life. To be honest, I wanted her to. So I thought of myself in a relationship like that and decided to be open to the experience. Now here's where the problem lies. We are still together, but we are not official. She says she will only make it official when we are physically together because she wants me to experience her properly in person before I make the decision. And when that happens, she give her all to me, full total devotion. So right now, we both have feelings for each other. We speak every day. The feelings connections have grown. I've told her I love her a couple of times. She hasn't told me yet. Hmm. She's still open to connections outside us, but says I'm a priority based on the nature of our relationship. She said she would tell me if things got serious with anyone else as a heads up. I told her I would do the same. But the truth is, for me, there's no one else but her. To her, there's other people, and then there's me. In 2 months until I travel, it's 2 months until I travel, so I quit my job. I will have time to make unnecessary arrangements before I leave. But in these few weeks, we fought a lot and learned more about ourselves than we had done for the past 5 months. I feel she's bored of me already, but I really want to see this through until I meet her in person. We've set boundaries, but it's almost like they're useless because we're not official. So when we fight, she makes it quite known that we're not in a relationship, so I should have expectations. I shouldn't have expectations, but I should think it's selfish because the same woman clearly shows me that she has expectations of me. My friends and best friend all hate the relationship. They say I deserve better. But I made this decision for myself because she's really the only person that makes me feel the way I do. And she's assured me she hasn't had sex with anyone since she left. So I'm not asking what to do because I know I'll still end up doing what I want to do. But what do you guys think about the situation? Would seeing it through until we meet be ideal? Could this just be pressure from the fact that it's a long distance relationship? Because the fights are getting too much and I don't want them to keep on going for nothing. Yeah, thank you from Anonymous for this email. I'd like to start with the first one, and that is the issue of giving. Bro, if you feel it in your spirit to give somebody, give that person the money. There are no hard and fast rules about this. You don't even need to know the person's plight. The person is begging for money from you. Just go ahead according to how your spirit leads you, and just go ahead and do it. You don't need to understand their pain, and it doesn't need to even make you feel better. You just have to do it. There are people I meet on the road who are well dressed and ask me for money, and I give. There are people who, when I want to buy something, maybe at the supermarket or store, they walk up to me, especially a little kid or maybe a teenager, young adults, and they ask me for money. Say they've not eaten today. I give willingly. I might not give people who in the bus park who are begging because my spirit hasn't led me to that person. But however you want to give, just give at the end of the day. Now, for this, your polyamorous something, 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 my brother, out of everything you read, right? There's only one red flag I saw. You saying that you love her and she has never told you I love you back. My brother in Christ, run for your life. That's what I'm going to tell you. I'm not saying you should not go there with optimism. You should go, but have it at the back of your mind that people change and people have a right to change. You do not own anybody, and people will make the best decision for themselves. That they see fit. So still believe in this, but also have it at the back of your mind that this might not be ideal for you. I also feel you are struggling with the idea of polyamory, and because our own sexual orientation is different from yours, you're trying to find that balance. You're trying to be open with it, which is good for you. People like me, we're already lost in the sauce. We can't do that. But it's good that you are Gen Z and you're open to that. But also have it at the back of your mind that this might not be ideal, and do not invest all your eggs in it or invest all of your heart in it. You might get there and you guys might not be compatible. Talking over the phone is different from you meeting, seeing each other every single day. You know, and when you now see the other person in the relationship, how are you going to react? This is your first time. You do not know how this is going to play out. So just take it one step at a time. Do not rush. Do not start seeing wedding bells when there are no wedding bells or seeing a long term relationship. See it more as a fling, an experiment. Like, okay, let's see where this will lead me to. And don't make it anything definite. Don't have um expectations, or situations or concrete situations of this where this will lead to. Just be open, go with the flow, and if you don't like the flow, you bounce out. This is not a secret society. You're not signing your life to the devil. Is that you're out at the end of the day. Yeah. And that's one opinion. I don't know our
No, no, I
brother.
agree with you. I think you've
Okay.
tackled it well. Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah. So yes, do not everybody has their own thing they want to do. Don't get mixed up. And some people like the fact that whoever they want to hook up with is polyamorous and buy. Hey, more wins, more people in the mix, more wins. Don't just turn to PDD because bruh, Abike Dabiri will not be answering your calls anytime
I'm
soon.
not sure they've gotten intimate yet. So I think that's why they're having a lot of.
Oh, so this is not a relationship, bros. Now, what's that? It's when it's when you've seen
I
each
think
other
that
nakedness. No, no, no,
I
no, no.
think
You people
that's
are
why I
done.
think there's still a lot they
Okay,
have to
okay.
explore for each
Oh,
other
so
for
this
them
is
to
just a
really.
fling, my guy. Don't start writing this like as if you already seen the altar. No, like I said, Take it easy, bruv. Take it easy, bruv. And yeah, let us know. Write us back and let us know, the end of this fairy tale or whether it's the
Yeah,
beginning of a
other
fairy tale.
story, otherwise. Yeah.
And also, you're traveling out, brother. There's a lot of world to explore out there. Enjoy foreign women. Do not
But
leave a
it's going to
toilet
the
seat
same. It's
Nigerian
going to the
woman.
same city the girl is.
And when city big, oh. Even in this Lagos, it's big. Forget.
Abi, I'm telling
Yeah,
you.
enjoy women, enjoy white women, Spanish women, Asian women. Enjoy life first before you now say you have to be in a polyamorous relationship. Yeah, that's it. Steve, guess it. Believe it or not, families are finished though. 12 pages and we are done.
Are you sure?
Yeah, that was the
Ah,
last
we're
one.
good. We're good
Yeah,
then.
we are good. We're good. Thank you guys for listening to us. We know this is an abridged version. Osage is not here. We are not doing any talking points now. I know a lot of you want to know our thoughts on the new Burna Boy album, the new Clips album, Justin Bieber, and a lot of madness that has been going on in Nigeria as well. The good thing about Nigeria is the madness never stops. So next week there'll be more bullshit for us to complain about. Also, we're talking about a lot of what happened in pop culture and in the, and in the Nigerian music industry as well. So if you have a family, just write it to us and we'll read it on the next episode. And a lot of you who have issues with your side gaze, theoretical beliefs, please send him more family so that you can attack him. It's fine. We agree. And that's why I've decided not to read like the 2 or 3 family here because he's not around. He's on a special assignment and he'll be back next week. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Steve, do you have
Thank you
anything?
guys.
All
No, no,
right, all
man.
right.
No, no. I'll see you guys
All
next
right.
week.
Hey guys, be kind, be peaceful, no fight. If you fight, you go to area G and area F. And when you enter prison, when you enter cell in Nigeria, to come out, you're hard. Some people have done 25 years and then before they
Damn.
came out. Yeah, 25 hard years. Over, they just say that, oh, somebody just claimed that you stole a generator. 25 years. No trial, no nothing. So yeah, let's keep it real. One love, and we are out, folks. Bye.